The Senate general election is set in North Carolina. CNN projects a heavyweight battle. Former Governor Roy Cooper and former RNC Chair Michael Whatley secured nominations. Cooper cruised to victory, maintaining his 40-year streak of never losing an election. Whatley, handpicked by Donald Trump, consolidated the GOP base to win his first public office campaign. Democrats view North Carolina as their premier opportunity to flip a seat. Despite Trump winning the state 3 times, Cooper's history makes this a toss-up race. Fundraising will be historic. Cooper raised $3.4 million in just 24 hours. Whatley faces the challenge of introducing himself to 39% unaffiliated voters. This race will likely determine which party controls the Senate majority in 2027. Cooper's appeal to independent voters is his strongest asset in a red federal state. Whatley's campaign leans heavily into America First policies and Trump ties. Analysts suggest this will be one of the most expensive Senate races in U.S. history. North Carolina has not sent a Democrat to the U.S. Senate in nearly 2 decades. The Cooper-Whatley matchup represents a direct clash between state popularity and national loyalty. Both candidates are Eastern North Carolina natives, adding a regional home turf dynamic. Polling suggests unaffiliated voters will be the primary battleground over the next 8 months. National PACs are expected to pour hundreds of millions into North Carolina airwaves. The outcome here serves as a bellwether for the 2026 midterms and 2028 presidential cycle. In Texas, the Republican Senate primary is descending into a high-stakes runoff. Between Sen. John Cornyn and Attorney General Ken Paxton, neither reached 50%. Cornyn has shifted to a scorched-earth strategy, spending millions on attack ads. Paxton maintained a strong lead among hardline conservative voters despite legal controversies. The primary exposed deep rifts within the Texas GOP between institutional and populist wings. Cornyn labeled Paxton unelectable, citing allegations of corruption and misconduct. Paxton's defense centered on suing the federal government and loyalty to Donald Trump. U.S. Representative Wesley Hunt remains a significant third-party factor. Operatives close to Cornyn acknowledge the race is bunched up, indicating vulnerability. The runoff will test whether incumbency still carries weight in the modern Republican Party. Paxton's ability to withstand attack ads suggests a highly resilient base of support. Cornyn's pivot to a more aggressive America First stance aims to close the gap. The May runoff is expected to be even more expensive and negative than the primary. Texas political institutions are bracing for a summer of intra-party warfare. The winner will face a Democratic challenger in a state slowly becoming more competitive. Turnout in suburban collar counties around Houston and Dallas will decide the runoff. Cornyn's cordial Senate history is being traded for a more combative persona. U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett and State Representative James Tallarico are locked in a high-profile fight. Crockett is running an unconventional campaign, utilizing an unfiltered style. Tallarico has focused on traditional grassroots organizing and drawing large crowds. Confusion over new precinct-based voting rules led to long lines and voter frustration. Dallas County Democratic precincts were ordered to stay open an extra 2 hours. Tallarico has been vocal about voter suppression, criticizing the end of county-wide voting. The Texas registration deadline of February 2nd is a major hurdle for engaging younger voters. Crockett's campaign is testing if a viral national profile translates to statewide success. Tallarico's platform focuses heavily on public education and economic reform. The Democratic winner will need to consolidate progressive and moderate wings. High turnout in El Paso and the Rio Grande Valley remains a crucial metric. Early voting data suggested a slight edge for Crockett in urban centers. While Tallarico performed well in suburbs, strategists watched the Dallas voting extension. The winner faces the daunting task of flipping a seat in a state that hasn't elected a Democrat since 1988. Both candidates represent a new generation of Texas Democrats. National donors are waiting for a clear winner before committing general election resources. The primary results will define the Democratic Party's identity in the South for the next decade. In Arkansas, GOP Sen. Tom Cotton is projected to easily win renomination. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders ran unopposed, cementing total control over the Arkansas GOP. Democratic farmer Hallie Schaffner and Mayor Ethan Dunbar compete to challenge Cotton. Arkansas remains one of the safest red states in the country for incumbent Republicans. Meanwhile, in Texas' 22nd District, Trevor Nels is projected to win the GOP primary. To succeed his twin brother, this marks the first time identical twins represent the same district. Trevor Nels benefited from an endorsement from Donald Trump. His brother, Troy Nels, retired to make way for Trevor, coordinating with the former president. The Nels handoff is seen as a sign of the localized power of the America First movement. Trevor Nels joked that the only way to tell them apart is the direction they part their hair. The 22nd district is heavily Republican-leaning, making Trevor the near-certain winner. Critics question the dynastic nature of the seat transfer, but local support remains high. Both brothers emphasize their backgrounds in law enforcement as a core part of their identity. The Nels twins are known for their frequent appearances on national conservative media. Arkansas voters also faced a unique local race where a sheriff candidate awaits a murder trial. The Arkansas Democratic gubernatorial primary remains too close to call. Tonight's results reinforce the trend of incumbent protection in deep red rural districts. The 2026 primaries are a direct referendum on Donald Trump's influence over the GOP. Tonight's projections suggest the Trump endorsement remains the most powerful factor. Democrats are seeing a governor-to-senator pipeline as a viable strategy in swing states. Voting rights and polling place confusion have reemerged as a major theme in Texas. The sheer volume of unaffiliated voters in North Carolina makes it the most unpredictable theater. The Cornyn versus Paxton runoff will be the most watched intra-party fight of the summer. If Paxton wins, it may signal the end of the old guard GOP in the Lone Star State. Arkansas serves as a reminder of consistent, unchallenged Republican strength in the South. Senate control hangs on razor-thin margins of states like North Carolina and potentially Texas. The 2026 election season is officially in high gear, with several marquee matchups now set. Voter turnout reports are mixed, with urban centers showing higher Democratic engagement. Republican turnout remains high in rural counties, driven by Senate primary contests. Election officials in Dallas County have been praised for the extension to protect voting access. The twins' successor story in Texas has become a viral national curiosity. Tonight's updates provided the first clear picture of the November landscape. We are witnessing a transition of power within both parties toward more ideologically distinct candidates. The road to the 2027 Senate majority now runs directly through Raleigh and Austin.